Hey friends, it's Allie. I'm dropping in to share with you a new layout today for the Scrapbook Nerd online shop. And today I am playing with Simple Stories Good Stuff. So right now I am working on the base portion of my layout. That patterned polka dot pattern paper is actually some like ancient Stampin' Up! Paper that I've had on my stash forever, and I thought it coordinated really well with the pattern papers from the 6x8 paper pad from Good Stuff. So I thought that I would use those together. I have my journaling, of course, that I did on my Cricut. Here is some of the pattern paper from the 6x8 paper pad. I just love that striped pattern paper. Over that, I'm putting a punched border just from blue cardstock that's being layered over top of it. I'm going to trim off the excess because that doesn't need to be there. And then when that is done, I'm going to add the title over top of those layered pattern papers. Oh, first I'm going to add my photo. I printed my photo at home. It measures 3.5 by 4.5, I want to say. 3.25 by 4.25. I had to edit it at the last minute, and so I got a little confused there. So now I'm adding my title. I made the title in Cricut Design Space as well. It just says best ever. And then over top of that, I'm going to add sort of like the subtitle, and it's going to be the word gift. So best ever was cut from cardstock. And then I wrote the word gift with a pen, a Cricut pen. I'm using liquid glue to attach that over top of best ever. So the entire title is going to be best gift ever. This layout is a traveler's notebook sized layout. It is the last layout in my current album to be put in my album before I start a new one. It's pretty full, and I think it's time to move on. So anyways, that's why it is a traveler's notebook sized layout. It measures in its entirety, when the entire layout is done, 5.5 inches wide by 8.25 inches tall. Without the gutter on the left hand side of my layout, the layout would be 4.75 inches by 8.25. So I'm layering all this on top of another pattern paper from the 6x8 paper pad. It's that really dark green plus pattern paper. I really like it. Another one of my favorites actually from the paper pad. You also noticed me or saw me put a puffy sticker underneath the title. It's just a little speech bubble with the heart in it. Super duper cute. And to tie the whole story together, I converted some images from Cricut to draw. That's those presents. And I colored them in with alcohol markers. That one gift is going to be adhered with foam squares just to lift it up off the page and then kind of give the illusion that the presents there's depth to it. So yeah, basically it just gives you the illusion of depth. So I have 3 presents there. They were all colored in with alcohol markers. I'm attaching those last 2 with liquid glue. And then there's going to be 3 tiny little hearts that I drew and cut with my Cricut as well that I will color in the video. I'm going to add those next as soon as I'm happy with that last present. Oh, before I color in those little hearts and add them, I'm just adding some additional 3D foam squares to help it stand straight, the entire image. So when I put it in my album, it doesn't collapse where there's nothing supporting it. It's a personal pet peeve of mine, so I always make sure that every possible spot has foam squares behind it so that it stays at the same height. Here are those little hearts that I mentioned. I'm using liquid glue to attach them as well, and because those images are so tiny, my tweezers are the perfect tool to help me get those in place and glued as well. So 2 are going to go to the left hand side of those presents, and then the third one is going to be layered over top of all of the presents. Once I have them colored in, that pretty well brings me to the end of my process video. This layout is about perfume that I had in my stash, had in my possession, that my daughter really liked. We didn't know what it was. There was no name or anything on it. And we did some digging and research and got my sister involved in helping us figure out what it was, only to discover that it's an Avon perfume. And we were lucky enough to find it on Amazon, and Marin got it for her birthday this past year. So that's what this layout is about. Here are the close-ups. Thank you so much for joining me today, friends. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope my layout inspired you. I will leave the links to the products that I used in today's video down in the description box down below so that you can check them out for yourself. I'll be back again soon with more inspiration. Bye, guys.